Hey guys, today we're going to be rapping the sneetches. Cause like it's a Dr. Seuss book and Dr. Seuss books always rhyme. So obviously, if I rap it, it'll work because it's gonna rhyme. So 3, 2, 1, go. The Sneetches and Other Stories. Written out Shillabide by Dr. Seuss. Random House, New York. Now the star belly sneetches had bellies with stars. Plain belly sneetches had none upon the R's. The stars were so big, the stars were really so small. You might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. But because they had stars, the star belly sneetches would brag. There because the sneetches out on the beaches with their snoots in the air and they would sniff and they'd snort. Well, nothing to do with the plain belly sore. And they would, whenever they meet someone, they went out walking. They'd hike on the paths without even talking. When star belly children went out to play ball, could a plain belly peach get in the game? Not at all. You could play with your bellies and have on stars, and the plain belly sneetches had none upon ours. When star belly sneetches had frankfurter roasts or picnic parties or marshmallow toasts, they were never invited to the plain belly sneetches. They left out cold, dark on the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them year after year. Then one day it seems the plain belly sneetches were mopping and doping alone on the beaches. They were just sitting there, and their bellies had stars. A stranger zipped up into the strangest of collars. My friends, announced in a voice and clear keen. My name is Sylvester Mick Monkey Bean. I've come here to fix your problems. I hear you're unhappy, but I can fix that and fix up Chappie. I've come here to help you. I know what you need, and my pressure is low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed. Then quickly, Sylvester Monkey McBean put together a very particular machine, and he said, "Would you want a star belly like star belly sneetches? My friends, you can have them for $3 each. Just pay me your money. I'll hop right on board." They clambered inside the big machine roared. It conked and it bonked and it jerked and it burked. It bopped them out, and the thing really worked. The plain belly sneetches popped up. They had stars. They actually did. None upon ours. And they yelled at the ones who didn't tell us at the start. "We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. No, we're the same. You snooty old smarties. And now we can go to your frankfurter party." Good grief, going the ones who saw the stars at first. "We're still better sneetches, and you are the worst." When that kind in the world we all know frowned, which kind was what, and was the other way around. Then Mick Bean in a very slight wink and said, "Things are not quite bad as you think. So you know who's who. It's perfectly true. But come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best sneetches on the beaches, and it will cost you $10 eaches." "Billy the stars in style," said Bean. "What do you need? Trip through my star-off machine. The wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you won't have sneetches sitting on bars. A very hand machine. It works very precisely. Remove all the stars from their tummies quite nicely." Then, with the air, they prayed about, and their biggest and our shout, and now we know who's who. There isn't a doubt. The best kind of sneetches are sneetches without. And then, of course, the ones who got stars are finally mad. They could have gotten a star now, but they'd be finally bad. Then, of course, Silver and Monkey McBean invited them to the star-off machine. And then, of course, from then you can probably guess things got into a horrible mess. And the rest of that day, the wall screaming beaches, the fix-up Chappie got fixing the sneetches off again, on again, in again, out again, through the machines. They raced on about again, changed out the stars for a minute or two. They kept paying money. They kept running through until the planet nor the star belly sneetches knew which one was that, which one was one, which one was this one, which one was that, which one was that one. Then every last cent of their money was spent. The fixed-up Chappie impacted you anywhere. He laughed as he drove in his car at the beach. "They'll never learn. No, you can't teach a sneetch." But Mick Bean was quite wrong. I'm happy to say the sneetches got really quite smart on that day. The day that the sneetches on the beaches and no kind of sneetches on the beaches, that day they forgot about stars and whether they were upon ours. One day making tracks to the pirate packs coming north-south Sachs and south-point Sachs. And both of them came to a place where it bumped, and they stood, they foot to foot, face to face. "Look here now, north-going Sachs. I said you were blocking my path. You were right on my way. I'm a north-going Sachs. I always go north. Get out of my way and let me go forth." Who's in whose way? Who's in whose way? Snapped them south-going Sachs. "I always go south. You're making south-going tracks. So So I'm going my way. I asked you to move now and let me go south and let me south going groove. Then the north going puffed up. Now the north going stacks puffed up his chest with pride. And never, he said, take a step on the side, or I'll prove you that I'll change my ways. I'll keep out to stand here for 59 days, and I'll prove to you, south going stacks, that I can stand here for the power of practice for 59 years. I live by the rule that I was turning a boy back to south going school and never budge. That's why I will never budge in the east, not an inch to the west, not an inch to the east. I'll stay here not budging, and I can and I will. I'll make you me and make the whole world stand still. Well, of course the world didn't stand still. The world grew. In a couple of years, the new highway came through, and they built all right over the stubborn snacks and left them there, standing on their unmunched tracks. See, they're still there. They're still there, talking. Too many Daves. Did I ever tell you of Mr. Cave? Had 23 sons. She all named them Dave? Well, she did, and it wasn't very smart thing to do. You see, when one and calls out, and she says, "Yoo-hoo, come to the house, Dave." She doesn't get one. She gets all 23 Daves of her to come on the run. Things were made quite difficult at Mr. Cave's. I can imagine so many Daves, and often she wished that they were born. She named one of them Bond King Bad Horns, and one of them Who's Fool, and one of them sitting, and one of them Hot Shot, and one of them Sunny Jim, and one of them Shadowhawk, and one of them Blinky, and one of them Stuffy, and one of them Thinky, and one of them Puffball, and one of them Moonface, and one of them Marvel of Olive Balloon Face, one of them Zigzag, one of them Zoggy Muff, one of them Buffalo, one of them Buffalo Buff, and one of them Sneepy, and one of them Weepy Weed, and one of them Paris Goddard, and one of them Harris Tweed, and one of them Sir Michael Cycles, and one of them Oliver Bolivar Butt, and one of them Xander McFay, but she didn't do it now, and now it's too late. Well, let's get up. Well, I was walking through the night, and I saw a very scary thing, for I'd never been afraid of nothing but not very. And then I was deep into the woods when I suddenly spied on them. I saw green pants with nobody inside of them. But I wasn't scared. But yeah, I stopped. Well, those pants could be there. What a pair of pants could be standing in the air for. But then I moved. Those empty pants, they kind of started jumping in my heart. I must admit, it was kind of started thumping. And so I got out there fast. I got out as fast as I could, sir. But I wasn't scared of the pants like that. And I did not care for, sir. After a week went by, and one dark night in the Greenwich, I had nothing to do in the errand and fetched some Greenwich spinach. Well, I had fetched by the spinach. I started running through the town, but then the pants raced me into the corner and almost knocked me down. I lost my Greenwich spinach, but I didn't even care. I ran for home. Believe me, I had really a scare. Now my schools were never made for pale green pants to ride in them, especially pale green pants with nobody inside of them. Spooky pale green with nobody inside of them. The next night, I was fishing down the Dowtrot River, and those pants came by towards me. I started to shiver, and I was so frightened. And let me tell you, I hate to, but I screamed around the way, and lost my hook and bait too. And I ran out of Brickle Bush. I hid myself away. I got Briggles and Britches, but I standed their way. I stand all the night. I stand the next night too, and I'd be there for no doubt. I had an errand, so the next morning I went out. And I had to get an errand. I had to get pick out Snide, and I had to go do darkly Snidefield, almost 9 miles wide. And I said I had to do those fear green pants with nobody inside of them. I said I do not fear those green pants with nobody inside of them. I said those words. I said them when I lied to them. But then I realized the Snide bush. The next thing I knew, I felt my hand touch someone. I bet you know who. It was there, Con Snyder. The dreadful place of spooky empty pants were standing face to face. I yelled for help, I screamed and I shrieked and I howled and I yowled and I cried. Oh, save me from this green old pink pants with nobody inside. But then a strange thing happened, and while those pants began to cry, those pants began to tremble and they were scared as I never such a whimpering. I began to see that a strange to them and they were strange to me. I put my arm around their waist and sat down beside them. I calmed them down, 4 empty pants with nobody inside of them. And now we meet quite often. Those empty pants and I, we never shake or tremble. We both smile and say hi. Done. That was a really long book. It's 61 pages long. I don't even know. I didn't count. I've done it before. So I did the book. So 65 pages. 65 is the last page. So yeah, that was the sneetches. It was me rapping the sneetches. I've done it way faster before, but I want to do it slower. There, see, sneetches and other stories. So there's like 4 other stories, but they're like really short, you know. The other stories after the sneetches are really short, so they're not like long. So it's not like I mean, like a whole book like the other one that was called the Sneetches. That one was really long. That one was like, what was it, like 40 pages long? I don't even know. But yeah, bye guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, if you like my content, make sure to subscribe. Oh yeah, and like the video if you're feeling generous. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.